Guys, I get asked on a week-to-week basis, what is the solution to training the lower trap muscles? Because in a lot of the videos, especially in my cover model chest video series, and also any of the exercises I talk about, chest training and back training, a lot of the problems with back injuries, shoulder injuries as well, is the fact that the shoulders aren't stable. So you need shoulder stability to press, you need shoulder stability to row, and you also will find that you'll have a lot of shoulder instability if you have any shoulder impingement, so a lot of pain in your shoulder or in your neck. So the first thing that we'll see, we won't do the exercise yet, but Stephen's just going to help me. The trap muscles start from here and come down into a fan shape, into a kite shape, and attach down here. Now, that being said, when most people train in the gym, they do upper trap exercises because guys want bigger muscles up here. The problem is with that is because the upper and lower traps and mid traps are all one group of muscles, the muscles north of where the scapulars are, the upper trap fibers, become very dominant and hence facilitate this kind of rounded shoulders. And with an attachment point on the front, what happens is when the upper traps are very, very tight, they'll lift the shoulders up and cause some level of internal rotation. And when we're trying to train the lower traps, a lot of people think, right, okay, well, we just need to keep the shoulder blades back and that's fine. The thing is with the lower trap fibers that they're attached at this angle down here. Now, they also facilitate thoracic extension. So this is the ability for your upper back to extend. Now, there is no point trying to train the lower trap muscles if you can't extend. So for example, if you're very, very flexed over and you cannot do this, there's no point trying to train the lower traps and mid trap fibers in isolation if you can't do that. So the first exercise I'm going to actually teach you in shoulder stability is the 45-degree hip extension, but I've put the seat pad higher than his hips so that Stephen can actually rest onto his hips so that we can concentrate on training this kind of thoracic movement. Now, because the lower trap fibers attach onto the thoracic, when you extend, you will actually train them, but not necessarily as much as you would do with some level of load, because for something to get stronger and something to get bigger, it needs some level of increase in load. So what I'm going to do now is introduce you to thoracic extension. All right, so Stephen's going to put his arms across his chest. Right, now, we're not bothered about what's happening here. This is lumbar. What we're bothered about is this movement here. Now, the good thing about this with Stephen is thoracic extension, guys, isn't this, okay? When you go beyond this, the next step, now if I show Stephen, if he tries to reach back any further than where he is now, watch what happens. Keep going, Stephen. Keep going, Stephen. Now everybody thinks that this is more thoracic extension, but it's actually lumbar. You feel it down here, right? Yeah. So we don't want lumbar extension because that's going to be compressing the joints of the facet joints of the vertebrae. So we don't really want this, right? So he's got this stabilized. He can hold on through his glutes and his hamstrings. What I'm going to get him to do is he's just going to round his shoulders. Now we have thoracic flexion. Now the muscles that we're trying to train in here, thoracic and all the extensors and the lower trap and mid fibers, there, that's it, that's perfect. Now with a lot of people, Stephen's a lot stronger, with a lot of people you'll find that they'll shake in this position here. So I'm going to get Stephen to roll forward again, making sure he's rolling forward from here. Now we're going to, what I do with a lot of people, I say I want you to extend up from here, one finger at a time. Extend, 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 extend. It's like a soldier walking up the spine, but it's very, very stable, very, very slow. So chest up a little bit more. Now we hold that position there. A little bit harder. There. Now we hold it. Perfect. We're going to go one more. So he's going to roll forward from here and then slowly down through the spine. Flex a little bit more. Round, down, 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 down. Now slowly up. Up, 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 up. Good. Now squeeze this in here. Good. And hold that position there. Relax. So, thank you. This is the thoracic extension exercise, which a lot of gyms do have this, and what you might want to do is just put an extended kneeling pad on here just so that you can have a bit of support up onto your hips and abdominals so that you can concentrate on that movement. Very, very important. Anyone with back problems, anyone with shoulder stability problems, but the precursor exercise to learning what we're going to move on to right now. So guys, before I progress on to training the lower fibers, which are going to be the weakest of the lower traps, and after I've done the 45-degree hip thoracic extension, which Stephen was very kindly demonstrating for me, we're going to do mid-trap. Now, the good thing about this exercise with the cables and having the seat a little bit further back, slightly extended up so he can sit with an extended thoracic spine, is that the direction of the fibers of the mid-traps are going to come in and join here in the middle between the scapula. Now, if you did it with the cables right in front of you, you've got very minimal ability to pull in. So using the cables at this height is perfect. And all I'm going to do, it's very, very simple, is the scapula is here. So Stephen sits with his chest up, so in that thoracic extended position. He should feel a little bit of a pinch. Do you feel that a little bit achy? Yep. Good. Now what I want you to do is allow your shoulder blades to move further away. So stretch your shoulder blades. Good. Now they stretch. Now drop your shoulder blades. Good. Now what I want you to do is try and squeeze your shoulder blades together without your upper trap muscles firing in. So squeeze this a little bit more. There, good. There we go. This one a little bit more. Good. Now what we're getting to see here, now just do 2 or 3 of those. Stretch, drop your shoulder blades, and then just try and pull into here. Contract. Good. 2 more. Stretch. That's better. Contract. Good. 1 more. Stretch. You see my fingers opening up. Contract. Good. And relax. Good job. So that exercise is a mid-trap retraction at shoulder height. Any higher will obviously cause a lot of elevation of the shoulders, and all that will happen is Stephen will contract his upper traps. But just remember, the upper traps of most people are pretty dominant, especially with females. They don't want to be training the upper traps too much and cause this kind of big muscles on top of the shoulders. And if you want a lot of stability around your shoulder blades, it's going to have a positive impact in every upper body exercise you do. This is the next step for you. The next exercise I'm going to show you is going to be the lower trap exercise, which is going to be training the lower trap fibers down here, a little bit harder, but again, we're doing everything in stages. So guys, the third exercise, we've gone from training the thoracic extensors, we've gone the thoracic extension exercise, we've gone to training the mid-trap fibers, and now we're going to look at training slightly more complex down to these lower trap fibers. Now this exercise is where a lot of people get things wrong, because the other two are not really that difficult to get wrong. This exercise, because you've got your arms up here, the first thing people think is, oh, it's going to be a lat pull-down exercise. So I'm going to show you what the exercise is and then what people secondly do wrong. So all we have here, we don't want too much extension through the lumbar. We want a nice extension through the upper part of the back that we've been working on, the thoracic, and I can actually feel, you'll be able to feel it because the muscles feel quite switched on at this position here. Stephen's head's nice and in line perfectly, and what he's going to do is going to allow his shoulder blades to lift up, keeping his head off. Good. And now very slowly his thought process is to bring his shoulder blades down and to pinch down here. So lower, lower, squeeze this muscle down a little bit more on this side, Stephen. Good. Now hold that there. Now he told me the last time we did this that he feels a bit of a pinch. Do you feel that in here? I do, yeah. Good, he does. So if you, the cue that you want to ask people is, do you feel a bit of a pinching down here? If you do, it's normally that the muscle is very, very weak and it's hard to hold it down here. So we're going to go up one more time. Good. Chest up first. And now we're going to squeeze down into this, bringing this down, 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 squeezing in here. Great. Now, that is perfect. That's no upper trap recruitment, all lower trap recruitment. I showed Stephen a second ago what people do wrong, so I was just going to show you. He's going to lift up, and a lot of people think, right, it's a lat exercise. So the first thing they do is they bend their elbows, and they pull down. Now hold that there. You'll immediately see that Stephen's lats are fired up. Sorry. You're going to immediately see that the lats are fired up. That's not what you want, because we want elevation, slight retraction and depression. What this is literally elbows coming into the side, which is abduction of the arms, which is going to train the lats. Relax. So that is not what you want, because if you start bending the elbows, you're going to train the lats. You want to train the lower traps, which are retractors and depressing of the shoulder blades and the scapula. That is a nice process for you to follow, something that you could actually do 3 times a week, because when muscles are very, very weak, training them 3 times a week frequently brings their level of strength up, and especially reminds those kind of weak areas when you come to pressing and rowing that they're about to be used. if you've had shoulder problems, if you're struggling with exercises such as pressing and you feel that you've got no stability around your shoulder blades, do these three times a week before your back exercises, your chest workouts, your shoulder workouts, and I know you'll feel a big difference, because I have had reconstructive surgery on this shoulder, AC full separation on this shoulder, back problems, you name it. My lower traps are key to me maintaining stability and being able to develop my own physique. I've learned all these techniques all over the years. I've learned them by looking at different mechanics and what works, and making sure you understand your anatomy and physiology if you're a trainer. So, Stephen, thanks for your help. I hope you guys found that helpful. And as always, click subscribe, and I hope you enjoy all the videos I keep putting out on YouTube.